Welcome to Lineups and Lures. Join hosts Joe and Chris as they break down the biggest stories in professional and amateur sports and reel in the best fishing stories and tips. Whether it's game day strategy or the perfect catch, we've got you covered. Grab your gear and get ready. This is Lineups and Lures. NFL Week 2 is upon us. It's a pretty interesting slate of games, starting off with the Thursday game, which happened last night, so we can't really talk about that one, but we can kind of preview it a little bit, and we'll see if we were right after the fact. So, Commanders versus Packers. That's an interesting game.
That's a big matchup. After what happened last week, you've got to take Green Bay at home in that one, but that's going to be a good football game. Yeah,
it'll be good. It's in Green Bay, so I don't know if that really affects too much at this time of year.
Yeah, this time of year, I mean, obviously Lambeau getting into November, December, January, where who knows what it can be like, but I would imagine it's relatively mild conditions. So I think that's just going to be one hell of a football game, and could certainly be a preview of a NFC playoff matchup. So looking forward to seeing two of the best young quarterbacks in the league. We've still got the Micah Parsons situation going on out in Green Bay, which is kind of cool, and let's see what happens. It should be a great football game.
Well, I think it's going to be a really good test for Jaden Daniels to see where he's at as a sophomore, like in year 2. Like, you're going against one of the best defensive players in the NFL. It'll be interesting to see how he reacts, and if he's still able to kind of put up his numbers going against a guy who's, probably going to be pretty keyed in on him and trying to take him out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, and not just, it's not just him. It's just that's a good football team. You're going into one of those great football towns, and Green Bay is a really good football team, and they are absolutely right up at the top of the list when it comes to the NFC, and this is just going to be one of those deals where we're going to find out real early who's sitting where. So, yeah, that'll be one hell of a football game, and looking forward to it.
Have you been to Lambeau?
I have not. I nearly went for the infamous Matt Hasselbeck, we want the ball and we're going to score game.
Yes.
And I'm really happy that I didn't.
Well, it was a great game until he cursed us.
Yes. He put the X on us at that point.
Yes.
But I'm sure that is one that will happen. It's just a matter of when. I'm sure we'll find a Seahawks, when the next time the Seahawks are there on the schedule, I think that's probably a pretty safe bet that happens.
Yeah, I would agree. That one's circled in the future as well. So,
yeah.
All right, let's move on to some Sunday games. So,
okay, hold on a second. I know we're talking football here.
Okay.
But I got to just bring this up. So what are we going to do about the Karen at the Phillies game the other day?
There's a talking baseball now.
I meant to bring it up last time, and I want to get it on the show because I want some thoughts. I want a little roundtable here really quickly about the Karen from Philadelphia.
So, did you see the one that went around today that they were calling her Tina Topek?
Well, I was going to say it could be a sister. I mean.
It could be. It could be. I thought that was pretty crappy of her. I thought it was great what the team did and brought down the little package for him, and then afterwards he was meeting some of the players and made that
the
lady
guy that hit the home run.
Yeah, made the lady look like a fool. So
I think she did a pretty good job of doing that herself, did she not? I mean,
no, that's what I'm saying. She made herself look like a fool by doing what she did and taking that ball away from a kid. Just I don't know. I have some words I would say about her, but probably not appropriate for this podcast.
I don't think Philadelphia is really the state or the city that you want to, put yourself out there in front of the fans. I mean, they booed Santa Claus. Like, that's a rough fan base to go out there and just do something as stupid and self-centered as what she did.
And if she's a season ticket holder and those are her seats, she's going to get booed the rest of the season. Guarantee it.
Yeah, I just think that not having a clue and, like, it's number one, it's baseball. Number two, give it to the kid. Like, this is just ridiculous. I mean, I've never seen. I mean, I've seen two guys go after a ball, and I've seen it even get a little heated. But that was two guys going after a ball. I've also seen, which I'm sure you guys have, where if occasionally the bat slips out of the hand and they kind of do the Rochambeau on top, and he who puts his hand on top of the bat wins. So there's kind of some rules here, and I feel like the rules weren't followed by this lady, and I hope she's never allowed inside of a baseball stadium again.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the kid got a baseball. Shouldn't everybody get a baseball? Isn't that the world we live in now?
No.
If one guy gets a ball, everybody gets a ball.
You don't get a trophy for last place. Sorry. The guy walked over. He didn't even fight for the ball. He just literally walked over and picked it up off the ground. And she was saying it was her ball.
So real quickly, just to finish up on this, there is a company offering $5,000 to the lady if she gives the kid to the ball with the message on it, "I'm sorry." That's hilarious.
That's hilarious. That's good marketing right there.
I think this is we ain't done with this story. This is going to be the laughing stock for a while, at least all the way through the end of the baseball season. There's going to be jokes made about Karen and her actions. Anyway, I just wanted to get that on the podcast. We can get back to football now.
Yeah, well, last thing on that is here's the scary part is it wasn't even like a intentional viral moment. Like it wasn't. She didn't go out to do this. This is all organic. This is just people being people. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, well, the world has changed a little bit, so I'm not for the better.
All right, can we get back to football now?
And all these stadiums too, including football. Going back to football, they now have I swear 500 cameras facing every single seat, every single area, so they can catch stuff like this.
Well, and there's every single person has their camera on their phone, so
that too.
I mean, you immediately had a cell phone video of her talking about how she peed herself trying to catch the ball or something. I don't even know. We've spent way too much time on this. Thanks for bringing that up and just derailing this entire podcast.
You know what? People are going to remember that segment.
Yeah.
So how about Jacksonville going to Cincinnati?
I think Cincinnati's going to take care of business. They didn't look great this week, but they looked a lot better last week than they did in last year. But when they started out just terrible, so at home, I think they're in the right spot.
They had 7 yards of offense in the second half, and I'm sorry, I can't see Joe Burrow not moving the football at some point. So, yeah, I agree with you. Jacksonville looked okay, but I don't think they're in the same class as Cincinnati. So, I think that's a pretty easy pick right there.
Yeah, the only thing is, it is week 2. It's still early. Teams are figuring out their identities. So, I could see Jacksonville hanging around a little longer. That is a team that's been together for a while. An experienced quarterback, but I just don't think they don't have the manpower to beat the Bengals.
No. So this next game you would typically expect to see on Sunday Night Football, yet it's being stashed at 10 a.m. This is an absolute dumpster fire of a game all of a sudden. The New York Giants are going to the Cowboys.
They are. Russell Wilson to Dallas. If he's still the quarterback by Sunday. We'll see.
Well, Dable came out and said he's going to play.
Well, he's going to play, but that doesn't mean that there's not a second half package ready for Dart.
I really hope they don't do that. But Dable is on the hot seat, so nothing would surprise me. That would be the worst thing for the young man, but we'll see.
So do you think the Cowboys are just the class of this game and are going to take care of business, or do you think the Giants and Russ kind of rebound a little bit? That defense it's still a good defense in New York. You think they give the Cowboys a run?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I think the Giants might win this game. I think Dallas is, they are sitting on a lot of old guys that have a name, but don't play like they did 5 years ago. There's a reason that Jerry Jones got rid of Micah and took the draft picks. It's full rebuild in Dallas, so I would not be surprised to even see Dallas traded some more of their talent before the trade deadline to pick up some picks. I don't like what's going on in Big D, and I'm taking the Giants.
Or weren't they giving on FanDuel or whatever, one of those betting sites, if Prescott got like 2 yards, you win an extra $50 if you put $1 down on it? They were not thinking he was going to do very well last Sunday.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are in tank mode as well, so I could see the Giants going into Dallas and taking this game. But it is disappointing. It is disappointing to see how far these two teams have fallen, because that really should be a marquee game.
Yeah, and it would have been, yeah, it has been for the last 20 years, but it's not right now, and that's yeah. So this next game.
So I got one more thing on New York really quick. So that was Eli Manning's team.
Yes.
Back in the day. So this Arch Manning, who finally won his first game on Saturday. Do you think that this Arch Manning kid is or Archie? Is it Archie? Archie Manning. Is he a Eli or is he a Peyton in the NFL?
Or is he a Cooper?
Well, I'm not willing to go anywhere near that. It's
not
too
yet.
early to tell.
Yeah.
I haven't done the homework. I've only watched him play, a couple halves of football. So,
my only comment on that is I'm a little worried about his shoulder or his arm because there was that one video that went viral and that didn't look very good. That ball just fluttered out of his hand, kind of like a late season or a late career Peyton Manning pass. So, hopefully he's healthy.
Well, the Australian won't give his opinion, but I am thinking he's going to be more of an Eli. Personally.
Eli wasn't bad. He had, what, 2 rings?
You mean go to the Hall of Fame and win a couple of Super Bowl rings? I mean, I'd take that.
That's not a bad thing.
I'm not saying it's bad. I liked Eli. I just think Peyton was a little bit better. But
Peyton was a lot better.
They're both pocket players and stuff like that. But still, I think that I think he's more of an Eli.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the next NFL game, and maybe this is the next great pocket passer, Caleb Williams versus Jared Goff.
I think
Which one are you talking about, Jared Goff or Caleb Williams?
Both of them, I guess.
I would really like to have seen the Monday night game, but I haven't because it hasn't happened yet at time of recording. I am not a believer in Chicago. I am not a believer in Caleb Williams. I have said this before. I'll say it again. He didn't win in college, hasn't done anything in the pros. That said, they got him a whole lot of firepower and help this year in the draft. And Detroit didn't look real good last week. So my money's on Goff and Detroit having a bounce back week, but I still don't believe in Chicago regardless. So until they prove it, I'm staying away from them.
Yeah, I think Detroit's going to find their offensive rhythm this week and really take it to the Bears. I think this is a lopsided game right here.
Yeah, this could be one that's done by halftime, so we'll see. But, all right.
All right, let's move on to Tennessee. We got Rams and Titans.
That's a good football game. Cam Ward looked okay. The only thing that's keeping me from just saying this is a blowout is that it's a 10 o'clock game on the East Coast, which traditionally has been difficult for West Coast teams, but you've got the consummate professional in Matthew Stafford. That coaching staff is phenomenal, and I don't see how LA doesn't walk in there and run all over them.
Yeah, I'm not sure Cam Ward's ready for a Rams defense. They play a really good defense. They have what seem like very complicated schemes, at least based upon how the Seahawks have performed against it over the years. So I think Cam Ward's going to have his kind of welcome to the NFL moment, and it's going to be a rough one for him. So I see the Rams taking care of business.
No argument here.
Patriots, Dolphins.
This is another toilet bowl. I will not waste any time watching this football game.
And this used to be one of those games that was always pretty competitive, and the Dolphins always kind of seemed to go into New England and take one from the Patriots during the Tom Brady years, but that's just a dumpster fire from head coach to the last man on the roster. I think the Patriots are going to take care of business.
I think that's just going to be a sloppy mess of a game, and I don't think it matters because we won't be talking about either one of these teams in December and January. So,
no, we'll be talking about the Dolphins real quick. I think by week 6, they're a hot topic because they're going to be looking for a new head coach. There's no way he makes it through the season.
Yeah,
first coach fired.
Yeah, he's on the top of that list. And him and Daboll, I think, are on the top of that list. Look, I've never been a huge fan of firing coaches during the season because all you're doing at that point is, yes, you bring in a fresh face, but there's no way you're going to be able to make wholesale changes to either A, the roster, or B, the playbook mid-season. So why not just stick it out and at least run the program that you've been running and then make the change in the offseason? To me, I mean, you pay on the guy anyway. So that's always been my thoughts, but
well, you're right. No, it's stupid. I mean, so you have an entire team, a roster of players that are learning an entire system during off-season workouts, during training camp, all this kind of stuff, and then let's say they fire him in week 4. Dolphins go 0-4. They keep getting boat raced. They fire him in week 4. They bring in an interim coach. Well, what are the odds that interim coach is going to be the next head coach? Pretty small.
And what changes can you actually make?
But now you're going to have 3 coaches within the course of 1 year. That's hard for players. And then that's just head coach. Now you're probably looking at new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, new terminologies. Like, I feel like firing a coach mid-season, especially when you're an absolutely terrible team, just sets you back an extra year. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, no, the only thing that could happen in Miami is that I didn't realize this, but did you realize that Darrell Bevel is the quarterback's coach and offensive coordinator?
I did not know that.
So that would tell me that when you've brought in somebody with his experience at being both a coordinator and a head coach, that tells me that maybe the leash on McDaniel may not be as long as we thought. So I might change my mind and say he might be a quick hook, knowing that he's got that the franchise has Darrell Bevel sitting there, who not only will, I think, do a good job in the interim situation, he would actually be a guy that would be in line for a real shot. So
yeah.
We'll
he's been there since 2022, so he's got a little bit of consistency with the team. I could see him sliding in and taking that over. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a pretty good list of quarterbacks that he's taken care of, from Favre, Wilson, Stafford, Lawrence. So yeah, no, he's done it.
Yeah, interesting.
Anyway.
All right, let's move on. 49ers Saints. Assuming Spencer Rattler is still the starting quarterback for the Saints, what do you got in this one?
49ers.
I'd like to know how bad the Kittle situation is, because he was absolutely tearing up Seattle until his hamstring went on him. It seems like McCaffrey is healthy. San Francisco, if they can kind of keep it together for a few weeks and get some help, and I see them as a buyer for a wide receiver. I know they picked up someone today. I was a familiar name. I'm just forgetting about it, but they're a team that could be a buyer for a receiver and make a push. So I think San Francisco is going to go into New Orleans and come out of this smelling like a rose with a 2-touchdown victory.
Yeah, it's looking like Kittle might be out 3 to 5 weeks. That's a big blow for that team. They're definitely going to need to go find themselves a wide receiver. Plus, didn't Jennings go out at some point too? So
and that's who they got the receiver for today. Yes. So yeah, no, I mean, like I said, if they can just hang around and get healthy, and not drop too many, yeah, I think they're a really good football team. So yeah.
All right, on to the Bills and the Jets in New York. I think the Bills probably take care of business on this one, but I'm interested to see that progression of Justin Fields again, because he had a pretty good week 1. Obviously, they came up on the short end of the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers, he just ran into first ballot Hall of Famer. But I'm interested to see how he does against that Bills defense and if he can keep them in that game, because the Jets have some firepower.
And a good story here is that, I mean, Breece Hall ran the ball well. Garrett Wilson caught the ball well. They've got a defense, and it's actually not a horrible football team. Here's the thing I would say. It's also a division matchup. Line set at 6.5. I'm probably taking New York in the points just because it's a division matchup in New York. I'm not saying Buffalo doesn't get out of there with a win, but when you play a team, inside the division as often they do, rarely does someone get blown out by a touchdown or more. So I'm taking New York in the points in that one, but I still think Buffalo will come away with the win there.
Yeah, Buffalo wins that game. Chad, did you get to watch the Sunday night game, Bills-Ravens, last week?
I watched a little bit.
Did you watch the fourth quarter, or did you leave early like half the fans in Buffalo?
I left more closer to halftime to go work on fishing poles.
Nice. That was a good football game. All right,
That
on
might
to
be
the
the
next.
best football game we see all year, by the way, fellas.
Probably until the playoffs. I could definitely see that. I hope we're wrong. I hope every week we get a little bit better and a little bit better. But that was a good football game. Browns Ravens. How ugly do you think that one is?
Look, Cleveland went and should have won that game against Cincinnati last week. Flacco had 270, 300 yards. That's
290. 290.
290.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, this line is set at 11.5, and I will take Cleveland in the points.
Oh.
I don't think. I mean, look, this is, to me, got a classic backdoor cover situation where, Baltimore might get up 17 or whatever, and then they allow the late touchdown with 2 minutes to go. That's kind of what I'm thinking, and the score looks a little better than maybe the game actually was. But look, Cleveland's got a defense. They proved that last week because they kept a very high-powered offense in check. Flacco is being Joe Flacco, and I think the Baltimore Ravens just have a hell of a lot more firepower, but I think Cleveland keeps it interesting.
Yeah, I think they keep it interesting for the first quarter. I think once Baltimore gets a lead, it's going to be a steady dose of Derrick Henry, a little bit of Lamar Jackson in there. I think that clock is it's going to be like a running clock in high school. I think it's just going to be tick and tick, tick, and that game gets over pretty quick. I think they're just going to control it. So I got the Ravens in that one.
Well, I've got the Ravens too. I just don't think they're covering 11.5 points.
Well, I think this is a 3-touchdown game. It's over by mid-second quarter.
Okay. All right. This next game a little more interesting than probably what we would have thought of at this time last week.
Correct. I would not be expecting us to be somewhat interested and excited to talk about this football game.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me reintroduce Mr. Daniel Jones.
It's like we talked about. You get a guy out of a bad situation, in with a new coordinator. He builds a little bit of confidence, and I mean that guy came out and just kind of controlled every offensive possession. What they scored every time he touched the football. That's pretty impressive in the NFL.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's not going to happen for the rest of the season. This is, Denver, got away with a kind of a scrappy win last week. Indy looked like they were just coming back from the AFC Championship game after what they put on the field last weekend. So I would expect that to come down a little bit. I think Denver cleans it up a little bit, and I think Denver gets over the hump by a field goal.
Oh, I think it's going to be a close one. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
This is a tough one for me. I think coaching is probably the difference. I mean, Sean Payton's going to make his adjustments, and I think that's probably the difference in the football game. That Broncos team's pretty good, but that Colts team, they're not bad either. So that should be an interesting game.
Well, yeah, Indy's not going to sneak up on anybody now, are they? They kind of put the league on notice that here we are. So, yeah, let's see what happens.
Let's not forget they got Jonathan Taylor too. I mean, the guy can run the football. Like, he's been the number one rated running back up until last year for many years. I mean, the guy knows what he's doing out there. So if they can just have a little bit of a passing game, Jonathan Taylor could really control a football game, kind of in the same way Derrick Henry can. I mean, he's a game changer when healthy.
Yeah, no, he's obviously class of the league and doesn't have too many more big years left in him. So I wish him the best while he's still can. So absolutely.
Yep. Next one will be interesting. Chad, are you going to try to hit this game? We got Panthers versus Cardinals because you're heading down to Arizona this weekend.
My son and I have talked about going to the game. Tickets are not all that expensive. And you can always get in Arizona.
Absolutely.
However, I fly out of AZ at 5 o'clock, so I was thinking about changing my tickets to Monday morning.
Should change your flight.
You think so?
Go take in an NFL game.
Well, yeah. I've gone to an Arizona football game. I think 3 out of the last 5 years.
Nice.
So in Arizona, I don't.
Well, and this should be Bryce Young, Kyler Murray. I mean, you're going to see two kind of dynamic quarterbacks in action. It could be a high scoring affair as well.
I need to know that information. I don't see you guys have the life. I have 10 acres to take care of, and so Sundays I'm working in my yard while you two are watching football. I'm out rototilling and mowing fields, and
I was on the field coaching fall ball this weekend, so
you
I
probably
didn't get to
had
see a lot.
you probably had your phone on watching football the whole time.
Yeah, that's where Red Zone comes in.
Yeah, I need to become a financial advisor so I can have Sundays off.
I went and sat on the couch with the kid and put meat on the Traeger and watched football.
Hey, so speaking of, so before we get back into the predictions for that game, which I think Arizona probably wins that game, what'd you cook for week 1?
I just went old school and did chili, but a little more than your average. So I did about a 6-pound chuck roast on the Traeger. I put it on overnight at 180 degrees and then kicked it up to about 250. So it was off the Traeger by about lunchtime. And then we pulled it apart like a pulled pork. And along with 3 pounds of ground beef, we made 2 pots of chili. We kind of make a simple, no bean chili for the kid because he's not big on the beans. And then do more of your traditional beans and little onion and black olives and ground beef and the beef. And I also smoked a little ham hock as well. So we had lunch meat for the week as well. But nice. Yes, the Traeger was busy.
Yeah, no, I agree. Beans are not my favorite thing, but I've found when you mix them in with chili, they kind of lose. I mean, it's the texture thing that I'm not a huge fan of still, but they just kind of blend in with the chili, so it's not too bad.
Well,
is it a spicy chili?
I went. Let's go low to medium. I didn't want to kick off the year with anything too crazy, so it was. Just a little bit of red chili pepper, a little bit of sriracha. The chili's got a little heat to it as well, so nothing crazy. Did put a little jalapeno in there, but sauteed it up before we put it in there, which keeps the heat off of it a little bit. So not a lot. I've definitely done a lot hotter. Will do a lot hotter. But this was kind of opening weekend, so we kept everything pretty simple, pretty generic this
Just
week.
a curiosity question. When you're back home, do you put kangaroo meat in your chili? Is that a thing?
I mean, you could. It's no different. I mean, it's very similar to venison here. So
really?
Whatever you would do with venison, you would do with kangaroo in Australia.
Well,
seriously.
Well, if you want to know what I had for dinner for the football game, since we're talking about dinners, I was sitting by myself with my dog for the first half, and I had a microwaved baked potato. That was my dinner.
Cheese, chives.
I put some mozzarella cheese on there because I had it and I wanted to use it before it went bad, and butter. And
would
salt
you
and
like
pepper.
some? Would you like some wine with that? Would you like some cheese with that wine?
I've got lots of bottles of wines up there, and you guys are all welcome to it. You just got to come up. I have a wine cellar at the house, so you're welcome to come.
Yeah, I'm
up.
not a big wine drinker, but
yeah, and I got bourbon.
All right, let's get back to football.
Whoa! Hey, I cooked too.
Oh, what'd you cook?
Oh, you cooked too. Okay.
Yeah. I did.
Well, you cooked either pork or chicken
or pizza. Pizza.
False. You guys are all wrong.
Pizza.
Nope.
Salmon.
Nope.
Trout.
No.
Hang on. Chicken?
No. We already said chicken.
Oh. Kangaroo.
No.
Okay.
Not even reindeer.
Right.
We did bring some reindeer home from Finland, but no reindeer yet. I smoked a turkey breast.
Really?
Well, that's chicken, turkey, potato, patata.
Oh my goodness, no.
I mean, I get it, but it's poultry. I should have used the word poultry.
Turkey makes you fall asleep.
Yeah, but we do a nice turkey sandwich, so kind of fry up some bread, do some bacon, some lettuce, some cheese, tomato, some nice thin slices of smoked turkey breast, and it's a fantastic sandwich.
All right, so here's the real question.
Did that sandwich get thrown across the room as Hillary was watching the Seahawks? Because that's the most intense football fan I've ever seen.
She was not happy with how that football game went, but the sandwich was consumed.
Okay,
no problem.
Before or after
remained intact.
Yes, the sandwich was good. That was right about end of the first half
of the Seahawks.
So
okay.
before we butt fumbled or whatever you want to call the end of that game.
Yeah.
The real question is, do you have the meat slicer?
I do not have a meat slicer. I slice it
use
myself.
If you want a meat slicer, I got one.
I
have
think
one too.
slicing it yourself is kind of part of the game, depending on the thickness and how you want to
can
prepare
get it paper thin with a meat slicer. It's kind of neat.
I like it. I like my turkey to be just a little bit thicker. I feel like it holds the flavor and the moisture just a little more than the thin stuff.
I just like having the meat slicer so you can, on Sunday, cook whatever you're going to cook, slice it up and have it for the week, for sandwiches, snacking on, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it anybody else that secretly in their head right now is envisioning Peyton Manning yelling, "Cut that meat, cut that meat"?
That dude has had some great commercials.
He had a lot of commercials.
Yeah. Well, now it's Kelsey. Now it's not Kelsey, the other brother.
Oh, Jason.
Jason.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh my. He's got so many commercials.
All right, back to some football.
Okay.
Eagles Chiefs.
Well, hold on a second. Did we actually make a prediction on Carolina and Arizona?
I took Arizona.
I think Arizona's going to win that one at home. Okay, moving on.
All right,
All right, I'm changing my airline tickets. I'll go to the game.
There we go. All right, Eagles Chiefs. Is this Super Bowl rematch?
No.
Are you interested or no?
I think this is going to be a pretty. I think this is going to be a quick game, and I fully expect Philly to win by a couple touchdowns. I got to tell you, Kansas City, done. Put a fork in them.
I think so, huh? They didn't look this good this last weekend.
I don't know, man. Kansas City back at home opener. I think there's a little bit of energy there. I don't think it's going to be like a 3-touchdown win for the Eagles, but I could see this one going back and forth. And if the Chiefs can stay in the game early, I think it'll be good late. But I'm a little worried the Eagles might just run away with this one early, and then it's not as interesting.
The reality is that Patrick Mahomes has nobody to throw the football to.
Well, especially Worthy says he's going to try to play through a separated shoulder, but that's pretty tough. Kelsey's still the shell of what he was. Rice is still suspended. You're right. He's got nobody to throw to.
I might have to pick up Juju on my fantasy team because he might get 14 targets. He's the only guy out there that knows what he's doing.
Well, Hollywood Brown, but who knows if he can stay healthy long enough.
Right. So
yeah, I think the Eagles win this one. I just hope it's a close game and the Chiefs can keep it interesting. But
I'm sure the Zebras will make sure that game stays close. So
which is BS.
No, they have no stock in the Chiefs.
Yeah, they have stock in whoever pays them the most per game.
Well,
yeah. Did you not watch the AFC Championship game last year?
Yeah.
Oh, don't get started on that one.
Hey, aren't you going to a game this week?
I am. We haven't talked about that game yet.
Let's talk about
it.
No,
we got more to get to.
There.
Yeah.
There's only one more game to talk about.
No.
There's 3 more games to talk about.
3 more, sorry.
Sunday Night Football, Atlanta, Minnesota.
So this actually could be a better game than I initially thought it was. Atlanta surprised me last weekend. They're a good football team.
Yes.
So once again, being that it is 4:15 on the West Coast on Monday night at the time right now, haven't seen Minnesota play, haven't seen J.J. McCarthy play. So let's assume he does okay. I think we got a good football game here.
Yeah, I think Minnesota takes this one. Falcons are good. I just don't know if Minnesota's still a really good football team. And if J.J. can just not have a bunch of mistakes, which, again, like you said, we haven't seen him yet. If he can not lose the game, I think Minnesota wins this.
I didn't even know Atlanta still had a team. I forgot.
Hey, they got uniforms and everything.
Wow. Okay.
What do you make? The league minimum.
All of them.
All right. Monday Night Football. Got 2 games. Are you a fan of the 2 Monday Night Football games?
So now that I don't have to coach 8th grade football on the weekdays, yes, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't mind like this week when it's a 4:00 and a 7:00. I'm not a big fan of when it's like a 5 and a 5:30. They're on at the same time. I want to be able to watch the game.
I wouldn't even mind so much if, say, they wanted to do like 4 and 6, and there was like you probably missed the first quarter of the second game while you're watching the end of the.
Yeah,
like, I don't mind a little bit of that.
I can split my TV in half. Can't you guys do that?
No, it's not so. It's not so much that, but it's just like you kind of really like to. It's just more for the timing. It's not like I'm going to sit down for 6 hours. I can't leave work at 1:00 to start watching football every day. So, anyway, yes, I'm a fan of multiple games.
Yeah, as long as they're staggered, I like it. I just don't like when they start really close together and I got to choose.
I would like to see the
Right.
Chargers win over Las
Well,
Vegas.
can we get finished? Can we finish Tampa Bay and Houston?
No, let's go to the second one. No, it's not my show. Go ahead.
That's right. Buccaneers, Texans. You think Baker Mayfield has a bounce back game?
I do. He's too good. That was just week one rust. That's what I'm thinking. Unfortunately, he doesn't get Godwin back till week 5, I believe, was announced. They did put him on the 4-week deal. So, but Egbuka, the rookie, looked really good last week, made some good plays. Mike Evans is doing Mike Evans things. I think Sterling Shepard, that pickup is sneaky. He was very solid for New York for a long, long time, and that's just a veteran receiver that knows where the right place to be. So I think Bucky has a better week. I think everything just tightens up. Tampa at Houston isn't even really an away game. What is it, like a 2-hour bus ride or something? It's not that far away. So I like Tampa Bay. C.J. Stroud has not impressed me yet, but I'm not writing him off.
Yeah, that Texans team is a good team. But I agree. I think Tampa Bay is much better team. So I can see Baker taking this game over. But like you said, I hope Bucky has a better game because I know you're a big Baker Mayfield fan, and last week he led the team in rushing, and that's just not sustainable for a guy of his size. So
no, he ain't Lamar Jackson. He ain't trying to be that guy. He's trying to stand in the pocket, throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's what he's trying to do. So yeah, look, it's week 1. I'm not gonna freak out on stuff. I think as the season gets going, they'll figure it out. I mean, he'll be fine.
Yeah, it's still early. Chad, who do you got in this one?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa? All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to your Chargers, Raiders.
So I have a question since I don't follow football like you guys do. Is it still the quarterback that played for the Ducks for the Chargers?
It is Justin Herbert.
Yes, it's Justin Herbert.
I just wanted to make sure before I started making comments. I actually like watching him play. I hate the Ducks with a passion, as we all know. However, I like watching that kid play.
He's good.
Yeah.
He had a great first week. You could almost argue a perfect first game against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
and some idiot left him on his bench on his fantasy football team and didn't play him.
Oops.
Was that Joe or Chris?
Me.
Oh, Chris.
No, that was me.
That was Chris.
Well, I started Jared Goff. I was like, okay, I mean, Goff's not a bad pick, and boy, did I get that one wrong this week. So,
well,
anyway.
it's a hard thing to predict when they're playing in Brazil. Like, there's a lot of factors going into that, so I can understand not taking him in that game, but yeah, against the Raiders, I think you're taking him, aren't you? He'll be in your starting lineup.
Who's Detroit got this week? They got Chicago. Chicago coming into Detroit. Jared Goff might be looking for a little revenge too. We'll come back to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think first hot takes here. Vegas better than advertised. I think we'd probably agree on that, huh?
Well, they got a pretty good coach. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to motivate players. He didn't take that job to do a full rebuild.
Is that still Gruden?
No,
I'm just kidding.
We wish.
Totally
I'd love
kidding.
to see Gruden back in the NFL. Pete Carroll. The guy's 73 years old, and he has the energy of a 30-year-old. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, Seahawks should have never gotten rid of him.
It was time for a change.
You guys think so?
It was time.
Wow,
Yeah.
see, this is how far behind I am.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm ruining your podcast today.
Oh, you're good. We love the banter. I think the Chargers are a really good football team, and I think they're going to take care of the Raiders.
Yeah, okay. Number one, I think that Vegas is better than advertised. However, I think, as I've told you, and we spoke about last podcast, I think the Chargers are winning that division over Kansas City and Denver. And if there's anyone from the AFC to make a real run and take on the Baltimores and the Josh Allens of the world, I think it's the Chargers.
No, they're a tier below those teams.
I think they are right now. I mean, if you told me who to pick, I would take Baltimore or Buffalo right now.
Yeah.
However, that team, I think the stars are starting to align. You've got Herbert, 6 years in the league, I think now. Second year with Harbaugh. There's just a lot of things going right there, and That's a really good football team, and they're getting slept on, in my opinion. I think they will take care of Vegas this weekend. And, well, yeah, that's my thoughts.
The only thing I have is it seems like every team that is now going to Vegas seems to end up being really good. You got the Knights, and then I have a feeling the baseball team that's going to be the A's are going there, right?
Yep.
I think they're going to become a hot team. I don't know. I think Vegas has some luck to it, but I think I'm going for the Chargers.
Vegas doesn't usually have any luck to it when I'm there.
Well, not when you're gambling. However, but I am thinking that the Chargers will take that game easily.
No, but I think you're right. I mean, that Raiders team that's a good football team.
It is. I think that the teams that are going there, they're making smart moves. I think it's a great place to go play. And, once they get all the teams there, it is going to be some great guys' weekends or whatever. Wives, I'm single, so whatever. But no, but I think that the teams that are going there, we're going to have some great weekends to be able to go watch some sports and hit all three.
I think it's a great sports destination. I think the problem is it's a corporate sports destination now, because the get-in price for a Raiders game is, I think, the highest in the NFL right now. I know to get into a Golden Knights game that the get-in price is probably the highest in the NHL. I'm sure the Athletics are going to draw well, so I just don't know if the atmosphere is there, and the cost-wise, you're going to have to spend some money to hit that trifecta.
Do you think it's going to be more of just people coming in to watch their teams play those teams, so they don't have a true fan base?
I think that's definitely true. Raiders maybe not as much.
They just drive up from Cali.
Yeah, because I think you still have a lot of Oakland people and Californians that are supporting the team, which I find interesting that you lost your team and you're still supporting them, because I will never say a good thing about the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think the Golden Knights have developed a following because of their, they won a championship that first year. I'm interested to see if the Athletics, how they do. But
I know multiple people from here that have season tickets to the Knights, and they go to a lot of the games.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty cool that Vegas is finally, they got F1. They're just getting everybody. I think it's fantastic.
The gambling separation between the sports is another topic to talk about, because that is definitely an issue.
Yeah.
If you're a Cleveland Guardians fan, you're not too happy with gambling in sports, but that's a topic for another day. So.
Yeah, the other thing I'd say about Vegas as a town, football is a different animal. There's only 9 home games a year. If you are in the NFC, you will only play a home game against Vegas once every 8th year. So an away game in Vegas once every 8th year for the whole NFC. Yeah. So because of that is going to continue to take care of the football program. The hockey, I'm not going to talk about too much just because I'm not privy in that. But it looks like the NBA and both Major League Baseball, it looks like is happening as long as they build the stadium. And the NBA has had many rumors about expansion right now, with Vegas and Seattle being at the top of that list. I think they will do fine initially. However, if you look at, take Arizona right next door. Nobody's from Arizona. Everybody's from somewhere else and went to the Phoenix area. And just as Chad discovered, you can pick up a really nice ticket for the football game, but not a lot of money. Try doing that at Quest Field in Seattle. I mean, you will pay 5 times more for the same ticket in Seattle than you will in Arizona.
Oh, every time I look to go to a game in Seattle, the cheap seat's $500.
That's just to get in the door. You are 1,000%. I took my kid up there for his Christmas present last year, and I'm not telling you what I spent on the air.
Oh, it's insane! It's insane.
So, it's one of those things that I think the Vegas thing, baseball with 80 games to take care of, that's a little tougher, and without having, the only thing that might save it is the retiree community down there, and maybe they go to enough baseball games to keep it going. But I think Joe hit the nail on the head with it's going to be a corporate feel as opposed to true diehard fans. Like when you go watch the Pittsburgh Steelers play, those are a lot of blue collar guys out there that, this is their thing. They go to their football game and this is their whole thing for the year, and they take their lunch pail and they go to work. In Vegas, it's going to be the corporates on the retreat, on the whatever, and it's just not quite the same atmosphere as, going into Quest, going into, Arrowhead, going into MetLife in New York when the Giants are good, going into Lambeau. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. I think all that said, Los Angeles is going to win the football game handily.
Yes, I agree.
So speaking of football, and we can go to baseball too, but Joe's got a pretty exciting weekend happening.
Yeah, we'll talk about the baseball stuff later, but let's get into the Steelers Seahawks. So, making the trip over to Pittsburgh for the Steelers home opener. I get to go see the Seahawks, get to go see the stadium. I'm pretty excited to be amongst all those blue collar fans in Pittsburgh, and I'm not going to say I'm going to wave a terrible towel, but I'll probably find my way into a terrible towel and I'll be bringing that home as a souvenir.
The real question is, are you wearing the Seahawk gear?
Yes, I will be wearing Seahawk gear. I will not be wearing a jersey.
Okay.
I'm not into the jersey thing, especially on the road. As we have experienced in Dallas, sometimes the road fans can be a little hostile.
Why no jersey? Is that a personal thing or?
One, I don't think adults should be wearing other teams' jerseys to games or jerseys to games. I've never really understood that. And two, just from a safety security thing, when you're decked out in the other team's jersey, you become an easy target. So being able to just wear some low-key Seahawks gear, I feel like I'll fit in a little bit more because, like as I was saying, we don't need a repeat of the Dallas potential situation that we had.
Yes, that was quite the incident down there in Big D, and let's just say I've never seen so happy to see a Texas sheriff more in my life.
Yeah, so I'm going to avoid the jersey. I'll be
agree.
decked out in Seahawks gear. Hillary will be decked out in her Seahawks gear. So it'll be fun. But I'm excited to see the game. I'm excited to see the stadium. Trying to make this a yearly thing where Hillary, myself, and her aunt and uncle travel to a NFL city to go watch Seahawks play. And he was a engineer for many, many years, and so he loves seeing the stadium aspect and how different places are built and doing all that stuff. So I'm more of a football fan, so I want to go say that I've been able to go to Heinz Field or whatever it's called now and go see that stadium and experience a Pittsburgh Steelers game.
So how many stadiums will this cross off the list for you?
For NFL stadiums, so been to Seattle, been to San Francisco.
Have you been to Seattle times too? Did you go to the Kingdom for a football game?
I have never been to a football game in the Kingdom and never will.
I went to 2 games in the Kingdom.
It's pretty hard to go there now.
Can't go now, but I actually went to 2 games before they blew that thing up, and I've been to 2 at the new.
Yeah, I spent my whole life growing up in Seattle, and we watched the game, and I'm sure we could have got tickets dirt cheap because we were not very good during those years, but yeah, never made it to a game in Seattle in the Kingdom. So, but I've been to Levi's Stadium in San Francisco. We did SoFi a couple years ago. Got to go see the Rams. That's a cool stadium.
I want to see that. I want to see that one.
That one's nice. I've been to Qualcomm before that got demolished. Got to see the Chargers.
Good.
Yeah, that was cool.
There.
We've been to Dallas Stadium, which is Jerry's World, is a place
we have been to.
all in its own category. That place was amazingly huge.
Yes.
I've been to Tampa Bay.
Nice.
That came out of left field.
Yeah, I was just thinking of the stadiums I've been to. I've been to Levi.
Levi's a cool stadium.
I didn't get to go to. I never went to Candlestick.
No.
I have been to Detroit.
You've been to Detroit, Webb?
Yes, I did go to Detroit. It was a rather long plane ride home that evening.
It was, but that was a good experience. Let's just leave it at that.
It was a great experience. Yeah, got to check the box.
You did, and forever I'll be able to remember. Too many lattes there, Hasselbeck.
That was a good line. That was a good line. I can't believe you still remember that one. I'd forgotten about that one.
I still remember that one.
That's a good story. We can't tell that story on the air, but that's a good story.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we can't tell the story. I just got to leave out. I just got to doctor the punchline a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So
what
anyway,
stadiums have you been to?
Seattle, the Coliseum.
Oh, okay.
Candlestick, the new one, Levi's.
Candlestick is not Levi's. Two different things.
No, that's why I said the new one.
No, he said Candlestick. And the Levi, yeah.
But you've been to Candlestick?
I've been to all three of them down there.
Oh, nice.
Haven't done any of the LA. Obviously, I've done Arizona.
I've been to Arizona.
Oh, I was to Arizona too.
Dallas.
I haven't been back to Arizona since I went to Arizona, though, and you haven't been back to Detroit since you went to Detroit. I like
your chances of going. I like your chances of going back to Arizona before me going back to Detroit. By the way,
true. Those are rough memories, though. That was a tough ending.
Well, the nice thing about Arizona is there is a place that we can all stay.
That's true.
Yes. So,
including my son's house, but I'm talking about the nice condo that I stayed at for my son's wedding, provided by Mr. Webb.
So, yeah. Then Dallas. Let's see here.
I want to go to Dallas.
I haven't done a lot on the East Coast, quite frankly, because I've done a lot more baseball than I've done football.
Yeah.
So, I think I might have to start something where maybe take the kid and go to a different away stadium every year until you knock them all off the list.
That's a good way to do it.
It is, and with the price of tickets in Seattle, not saying Pittsburgh tickets were like cheap or anything, but it's a lot easier to get a quality ticket on the road, and obviously a Raiders situation, or I'm sure Green Bay is pretty expensive. It's a good way to go knock off some stadiums and be able to go to a Seahawks game
would be a good one too.
In an affordable way.
My kids, for my birthday, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, they got me one of those maps with all the NFL football stadiums and all the baseball stadiums, and you mark them off as you go to them. It's kind of fun. I will say the two best football stadiums I've ever been to, not NFL, but Notre Dame and Michigan. And the Michigan State was cool too. I went to those games against Oregon State. But man, that Michigan Stadium, it was unreal. And same with Notre Dame. It was so loud. It was crazy. I would do those again in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Well, they call it the Big House for a reason.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't even care who they're playing. I would just go because it's so fascinating.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right. Let's talk some Seahawks football. So, you think we bounce back this week against the Steelers?
I am a little bit concerned about the way we ran the football.
Yes.
The defense was fun. I would like to have a new cornerback, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. The running game, I think, was the problem because with Kubiak's offense, we are there to run the football. We spent a whole bunch of money on our left tackle. We spent a first-round draft pick on our new left guard. We spent we paid our right tackle. So we should be able to move the football. We have a pretty good tandem at running back, one would think. And we ran the ball for an average of 3 yards per carry and didn't bust anything. So that's my concern, because if we start running the football, that's going to allow our wide receivers some space and play action. I'm not going to freak out about the wide receiver core after 1 week. That's too early, nor am I going to freak out about Sam Darnold after 1 week. So my concern was that we didn't run the football and set up the rest of the play action. Everything, the defense looked pretty solid to me. I mean, they only gave up 17 points in the game. So it's not like they got run out of the building. We got to figure out how to run the football, and that changes everything with us.
I think another week of practice, seeing game film at full speed, NFL speed. I think being game 2, I think the coaching staff is going to make their adjustments. I think the continuity amongst our offensive line is going to be a lot better, and I think you're going to see this run game dramatically improve week to week.
I agree. I agree with you. I kind of feel like this team, if they can just hang at 2-2, 3-2, not get themselves out of anything, if they can be 5-4. I could see them peeling off 6 or 7 wins at the end of the year as they come together as a unit and really be coming into with a head of steam going into the playoffs. I really believe that's what this team is going to do. I think there's a lot of newness still. There's a lot of incohesiveness at the problem. Nobody's fault. You've got new coordinators. You got new quarterback. You got, new offensive linemen. You got a new center. You got a defense that's essentially half a season old. So a lot going on here. But I do believe that everything is trending in the right direction. And that's where I just feel like if they can stay obviously healthy and just kind of not lose too many like we did on Sunday, where they can keep it at 500, they can go peel off 7 out of 8 and make a run all the way in the playoffs. That's what I see with this team.
Yeah, it's just going to take a couple weeks to get everybody going. And, I understand the financial piece to this, but isn't that what the preseason's for? What don't you want to see these guys? If we would have played our starters the first quarter, the first game, maybe the first half in the second game, at least get them on the field. I mean, Darnold had 3 plays with his starting offense in 3 preseason games. I mean, I always thought preseason was to prepare you to play, and you can do a lot in practice, but if you're not having a joint practice with another team and getting live full speed reps, I just don't think you're fully prepared to play. And unfortunately, it's going to take a week or 2 or 3 or 4 to get into this. And I think that going to Pittsburgh, 10 a.m. start, there's going to be a lot of excitement. They're coming off a big win. Aaron Rodgers. I think it's going to be a tough road right here for the Seahawks to win in Pittsburgh, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think our mindset, and probably the entire NFL's, is Aaron Rodgers looks like he means business. And, he was rolling out and throwing on the run and doing Aaron Rodgers things. And, the way he gave that press conference on Sunday afternoon, evening was a little intimidating. Because if he starts playing like he did after he told the whole football community to relax about 7-8 years ago, there could be another team in the hunt here that nobody was expecting.
Yeah, he's got a little chip on his shoulder. I mean, things did not go well with the Jets, and shots fired by him coming at it in that first press conference. I think the word you were looking for is confidence. He's got a lot of confidence. He's got good pieces.
He's never had a problem with that.
Yeah, but I think he can trust a guy like DK and just get him the football. I think the key to the Seahawks is, they're going to run those quick screen passes out to the wide receivers, and he gets rid of the football really fast. If our corners and safeties are able to tackle and keep those to 2, 3, 4 yard gains, then I think we're going to be fine. But if they get that football into DK's hands and he's running off 15, 20 yards, we're going to be in trouble.
Okay.
I think his biggest mistake was breaking up with Danica Patrick.
There's a lot.
So
he's right up there with Derek Jeter on the dating profiles. There's been quite a few.
Back to football. And this is a serious question, and even though it's tongue in cheek, does DK Metcalf get ejected from this football game?
Absolutely.
I think there's got to be a prop bet on that somewhere, doesn't there?
I mean, if the bet is does he get a personal foul in penalty, I'll put the house on that one, because they're going to egg him on, and he's going to be
absolutely
so immature. He's going to sign language something or whatever. Yeah, he'll take the bait. That's an easy win.
I think Seattle's got a free 15 in there somewhere over the weekend. It's just a matter of how many runs the other way. But I don't want to do this, but I'm not sure Seattle goes into Pittsburgh and wins this football game.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Unfortunately,
I
hope it's close.
I think it'll be a football game. I just that's
well, they've got
10 o'clock on the road.
So. Defense is great. I when I was watching the game this weekend, it was basically a defensive battle. This last game.
Well, and those were two of the best defenses in football. Let's not kid ourselves.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, so they do, and that's why I think they'll be able to at least keep the score down. They may not win, but I don't think they're gonna let the score get out of hand.
I don't see the Seahawks getting blown out of any games because of how good our defense is. I just hope we can score enough points to keep it close. I'd love to see a one possession game, something go down to the end. However it ends is how it ends. But I think we're gonna have a hard time going into Pittsburgh.
I do hope they win though, just for your sake, since you'll be there and you are a Seahawks fan, and Hillary would probably
she'd be pretty excited.
Go ape, whatever, you know. So
are you buying the terrible towel?
I don't know. Is this something that, I mean, it's a home opener. Is this a giveaway type of a deal? Like, you got to think they're going to want a lot of terrible towels in the stands.
You know, I still find stuff in the garage from all those Seahawks games every once in a while. I'm like, I haven't seen that in 10 years. So, I'm sure they'll be handing something out. That's typically what they're going to do. And
either way, I will be coming home with a terrible towel. Guaranteed.
Yes. Well, that sounds like a great trip. Hopefully you can go out there and bring us home the win.
Yeah, well, go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Enjoyed Lineups and Lures? Like, share, and rate the show to help us grow. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening, and catch you next time on Lineups and Lures.